Guys, welcome to another edition of Built Different. Today we're doing shoulders. Shoulders, 40 and over. Oh my gosh, right? We all have issues with shoulders. Probably the number one reason guys stop working out because they're shoulder issues. I'm going to show you 3 exercises that I like to do for shoulders that are done in a safe manner, that are going to activate your delts, activate different areas of your shoulder, and keep you going moving forward without injury. Again, we have to approach things with the mind-muscle connection, right? Be thoughtful about our process on how we're going to be doing our workouts. So these exercises, you may have seen people do different ways in the gym. The way I approach it, again, is a little different because we are built different. So for me, for my body, and the way I handle it may require a certain movement that I have to do. You guys will have to adjust accordingly as well to see what works best for you. But for the basis and how I approach it, I think it's really important for you guys to follow along as I do these different exercises. First exercise I'm going to do, and again, a lot of the injuries occur in part because you're locked in. If you do a barbell press, you're locked in behind or in front where you're doing this barbell press, isolating on your delts. I'm going to do an exercise called a one-arm dumbbell press, and I'm going to do it in a way that kind of activates the core. And let me show you. I'm going to put down a little pad for my knee, and I'm going to grab lightweight, all right? This is 15 pounds. So I'm going to put my left knee down, and I'm going to do a press. And you're going to see as I do this press, I'm going to have to balance my core as well, but what I'm focusing on is my shoulder. So I like to do it, again, they call it, what did some of the guys call it, some guillotine hold? I don't know. I like to hold my thumb on the outside of the handle when I do it. Go on the inside, depending upon your experience level, that's up to you. But for purposes of me, I like to kind of have like a shelf. And if you saw any of my other videos on back, and when we talk about working out, we use the arms more or less like a hinge, and we're going to use the arms again more or less like a hinge when we're activating our shoulder with this exercise. So again, I'm seated in this position, at least with my right knee on the floor, and I've got the weight in a comfortable position here. As you can see, I'm faced this way. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to do presses, just like this, controlled presses, up and down, and you're going to feel it in your shoulder area. And again, you're working your core a little bit here as you're doing this exercise, but you're also able to really focus on your shoulder when you do this exercise. I like to do, again, 12 to 16 reps of this exercise with the weight. And I'm slotted in a way where I feel more comfortable with the weight being more or less parallel to my arm versus back here. I feel pressure when I'm back here. When I'm here, I don't feel that pressure, and with my range of motion, and I'm not locking out, I'm going up to about here and then back down to about here, not too far down here, where I'm controlling the weight back and forth. And then you switch it to the other side. Same thing. This is a real simple exercise, guys. Especially for you guys that don't have access to a commercial gym. Again, now my right side's done. I'm focusing again a little bit on my core, maintaining a good, healthy, athletic position. And that weight's up here, and I'm doing it again, this way. And even on this side, I can feel that I'm getting it right up here, and that's what I want as I'm doing this exercise. And again, I've got to focus on my core, but I'm doing it in a controlled fashion. I'm trying to get minimum of 12 to 16 reps on this exercise. Just a different variation of a shoulder dumbbell press. That's it, guys. Great little exercise that you guys can do at home or do it in the gym. Find a corner, find a spot, and give it a try. You're gonna feel that activation. You're gonna feel that pump in that area. Great exercise. Again, 4 to 6 sets, 12 to 16 reps. Second exercise, some of you guys complained you didn't see me, my whole body when I was doing a particular delt exercise. We're gonna do lateral raises. Biggest challenge I see with guys doing lateral raises is they go way too heavy. I go light, I stay light, and I work my way up the rack light. And when I mean up the rack, I may start at 5 pounds and I may land at 15 max, depending upon how I'm feeling. Again, with the lateral raises, what's crucial, guys, and I'm gonna show you this with the light weights, when you're doing lateral raises, you need to lead with your elbows and your pinky. And what I mean by that is that as I'm going up like this, I'm not going like this to try to have the momentum of the weight move my body. I really want to lead. So even if you start doing it with nothing to get that feeling, you're trying to lead with your pinky out and your elbow. And you don't want your arm up like this. You kind of want it out like this, and that's going to activate that shoulder for you as you go up and down in a controlled fashion, and you're kind of arcing it back and forth. So again, we're going to do 12 to 16 of this exercise like this. And I'm leading again with my elbow and my pinky. That's the hinge-like motion I'm focused on for the mind-muscle connection. And I can feel it, guys. I feel it more on my upper, and I feel a little bit on my traps. It's a great exercise, and I feel it's kind of like in the aggregate. It's like the cap. You're hitting like all 3 areas as you're going through this particular exercise. If you do it correctly, you do it volume-based, and you do it in a controlled fashion where you're connecting mind-muscle on the weight itself and the movement. So here we go. I even want to show you guys, I know I have a couple cameras set up when I'm standing like this. A lot of guys, some guys will do it this way. I don't care how you do it. More concern for me is this action. I don't care if you want to start here. That's not the problem. The problem I see with guys is if they're using their body to move the weight. You literally want to feel like your elbow, you're like a marionette puppet, and your elbow is being lifted on its own. That's the feeling that you want to get when you do the lateral raises. And it's a very difficult mind-muscle connection to get into, but if you do it correctly, you're gonna, it's probably one of the best exercises you can do to develop those caps and give that real virile look that we're all trying to achieve as we get older, as we fight, you know, Mr. Time, and we want to be in good shape. So great exercise you guys can do. Third exercise I'm going to do, and again, some of you guys complained that you couldn't see me, so I'm standing up while I do this exercise, but I like to do this in a seated position, is bent over back. I'm doing bent over laterals. And what I mean by that is I'm going to go down like this, and I'm going to do it this way. Some of you guys, if you have a reverse pec deck at the gym, you're doing it this way, and you can bring it back where you're working your back area of your shoulders. That gives us that thickness that we're looking to get. A lot of people forget about the rear delts. Those rear delts also help you where you don't want to, like some of the guys like are just kind of hunched over. That gives you that look, that a little bit more of that upright look. And I think from a physiological perspective helps you overall because you're engaging that muscle area for your back and other things for purposes of the way you stand, the way you approach people, and it just gives you that feeling where you've got that thickness and depth as a guy that you really want from working out. So with this exercise, be careful with regard to your back depending upon how you do it. Some guys like to lean on something to kind of create that wedge for themselves in order to do it, or put themselves in a place where they can stay steady. It takes some time, but again, going light with the weight, again, leading with the elbows is key to this exercise. So here, bent over a little bit, I have the weights in front of me, my head is going to be down, I'm going to be bringing it up, leading with my elbows again. And what I try to do here is I'm focusing, it's kind of like I'm focusing on my traps, but I'm also activating my shoulder area and my rear lats. And again, I'm thinking about my elbows going up leading and my elbows being the actual point in which it's getting pulled like that marionette puppet, where just the strings are going up like that. And you're doing it this arc-like motion to move the arms back, and then you'll feel that behind, you'll feel that contraction when you do the exercise correctly. Too many guys go too heavy and they're fighting their way to do it. There's no reason to go heavy with these lateral raises. You're working a smaller muscle group. You need to focus on the connection of the mind and the muscle when you do this exercise. Key is volume, key is contraction, key is good form, and you'll be able to maximize your gains and minimize your injuries when you do these exercises. Again, 12 to 16 reps of this exercise, 4 to 6 sets. I hardly see guys doing the rears. You guys gotta put the rears into your shoulder exercise, and I'm telling you, you're gonna not only feel it, but you're gonna see, give it 4 to 6 weeks, you're gonna see tremendous differences in the way you look as you go through it. You just gotta implement it and give it a try. So let's recap, guys. 3 shoulder exercises that protect our joints as we get older. First one was that one arm dumbbell press. You can do it in a seated position. I did it on a kneeling position where you go up. Very similar to double, but what's nice about this is you're kind of focusing on your core and you're focusing on independently your one arm and your one shoulder area as you do the exercise. 4 to 6 sets, 12 to 16 reps. Second exercise, lateral raises. Lead with the elbows and the pinkies. Remember that. Lead with the elbows and the pinkies. I don't care if you start here, you could start here, but key is that arc and leading with the elbows and not going heavy, guys. Ego's out of the room. Don't go heavy when you do these exercises or you're not gonna get the gains you want. Third exercise, bent over laterals. They're kind of your rear lateral raises. Same thing, again, where you're focusing on that rear area and you're using your arm as more or less a hinge and leading with your elbows. That's key to these exercises. Guys, the school community is growing. I think by the time you guys see this, we'll be 200 plus in the community. Subscriber base continues to rise. Like, subscribe, DM me. I'm humbled. I tell you this every time. I am humbled by the growth of the channel, and I'm going to give you more and more as we continue on this journey. We're going to put supplements in play. You know, you guys, my wife has Elite Medical. She's going to help me. She's a functional medical specialist. We're going to put together creatine package, different types of supplements, magnesium, things like that, that will help guys over 40 like us that need that type of supplementation for recovery. Also got merchandise coming as well with the website. I'm looking forward to the engagement with you all, guys. Remember, we're built different, guys. We approach things differently mentally. We want to lean into fitness because fitness is our lifestyle, the discipline that we get from it, the clarity we get from it. We're older guys. We're a rare breed, and because of that, we are built different. We're also built different because we are, from a physical standpoint, we have conditions that we've gotten over time. We're not a blank slate. We've got to work within our means of what we have. So we're built different that way. So we're not going to have cookie cut approaches to the way we train. We're going to train within our means, but we're also going to activate the muscle and do things in an efficient way that minimizes risk. Think of that, guys. Remember, we're built different, and I thank you.